walikuwa wanatoa pesa kwa serikali. Watu walipora nchi so that when the president came to power, pesa ilikuwa imechotwa yote. Na siku moja tulikuwa tumeambia rais, unajua ile pesa hawa watu walichota, walipeleka nchi za nje. Pea sisi jukumu, na sisi kama wajumbe tutaipitisha sheria yenye inasema anybody.
Uhuru scapegoat script is back too fast that you can't even imagine. That is Johana Ngeno last weekend during a UDA event in his constituency in Bomet, calling out what he thinks that he still think 1 year later that Uhuru Kenyatta is the problem this country is facing. What I'm going to show you about in this podcast is going to give you a different perspective that people should actually shut up. It's time for people to shut up. Kindly subscribe to our channel. We are finishing Edwin Mwiti Mwenda Fundraiser. But then tomorrow I'll give you a story why this one was so important for me, by the way. This boy, is supposed to join Kenyan University tomorrow, this Friday, to pursue bachelor's in electrical engineering and computing. And because of financial challenges, he had not joined since September. So we decided that as Team Bold, we will chip in and make sure that is achieved. So I'm just so grateful. As we finish, we are going to close the fundraiser tomorrow. I think I only had a gap of I have a gap of around 24,000. Yes, I want to believe that we'll still be able to catch up by tomorrow. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you this. Do you remember the Telkom buyback deal? Immediately, William Ruto Ruto administration announced plans, and they requested the Helios company that was owning Telkom to resign. The cabinet reversed Uhuru Kenyatta decision for government to acquire 60% of shares from that company. Remember, that is what has been spoken about in this country, and I wanted to get the soundbite on how MPs were so emotive about it.
Refused to approve. So you are also appearing here in person as Ambassador Ukur Yatani, not only just as a former CS, you are appearing as a witness who would be having some information that would be beneficial to these two committees in getting to the bottom of this matter. So it might go beyond policy, because as you will see with the nature of the questions, some of them are in response to some findings that have come in the life of this inquiry that do mention the person of Ambassador Ukur Yatani, and hence, one, the two committees are keen to get information from you, but secondly, and more importantly, these two committees are here to also secure your rights as a person and a citizen of Kenya. Because if you're mentioned in one way by other witnesses, you get also a platform to have a right of reply, and that is the opportunity that has been offered to you. In terms of the second part of your question, as to whether there are any issues that should be canvassed in camera, to the best of our knowledge as the two committees, so far we have not come across any matter that would warrant for us to hear any of these things in camera. Most of it, as you said, is in the public domain. It is just for clarifications.
So this is what happened. That was the MPs probing it. So allegedly, some few days to the last general election, government paid close to 6 billion to buy 60% of shares from Telkom. So that means that it was now going to be government owned. Now, that deal was demonized as one of the ways that was used to swindle money from Kenya. And that is what that Yohana Ngenyu has been talking about. So what happened here is, a day after government reversed that decision and asked Telkom, the Helios company, to return back, give government back their money, a day later, the Treasury came up with another story that a Dubai United Arab Emirates company had already bought those shares. Government had asked Telkom that find someone else to buy so that we give us back our money. But just less than a day, a buyer was found from Dubai. Now, that is not the catch. The catch here is, the Dubai buyer is known as, this is the name of that company. I want to get it. Now, the new buyer is known as Infrastructure Corporation Africa. And that company was registered 23 days ago. That Dubai-based company was registered 23 days ago. When I was doing my research, someone has asked me, why is a Dubai company known as Infrastructure Corporation Africa? Does it have link in Africa? Why the Africa? But of course that's a name, so I may not question why it's called Africa. So what has happened is that it's so fast, and it has even irritated a man that has been so vocal about this deal, and that is William Ruto's lawyer, Grand Mullah. Ahmednasir lawyer said, this is beyond incompetence. Yesterday, Kenyans were told government rescinded the agreement and sought the refund money paid by 60% shares of Telkom Kenya. Today, the CS Treasury is singing an entirely different lullaby, telling Kenyans a UAE company bought the shares. So if UAE company bought those shares, so that means we can't get them. Which is that company? I'm telling you, we don't have a country here. Some people say we don't have a country here. So there's some questions that then Kenyans were asking, and that is what the experts have been saying, that the procurement, why the same way this deal was sensationalized and by parliamentarians, the parliamentarians are still going on with their probe, the committee is still going on with their probe, but it seems things have just happened too fast and done, without even the report from the parliamentary committee being released. Even the conclusion of the investigation, no one knows about it. Now, this is the catch, and I want you to get it. Telkom Kenya owns various properties around the country, and one of them being huge tract of land on Ngong Road, which the former President Uhuru Kenyatta had developed and built some good sports facilities. Recently, the court ordered that government pays Telkom 11 billion for that land. So, if Telkom is fully owned by government, why not for that 60%? If it was fully owned by government, then that decision will be null and void. That means the government cannot pay itself. Now, if the corporation, the Dubai corporation, the company is transferred to that Dubai corporation, it means the government will have to pay 11 billion to Telkom. Who tells you that the intention was for government to pay this 11 billion? Tumebai kutoka Telkom. Na tungebai yote, we would have not have paid this 11 billion. But because we did not buy, someone else has bought it, that means it has a new owner, so the government will have to pay that new owner. At the end of it, maybe we have lost. But I want to tell you, there is nothing like we have lost. It is just paperwork. But the real faces behind these deals, this is an inside deal. And the real faces are the people sitting at the decision-making table. I'll be so brief. 3 things that we must do way forward. From now, let us stop Uhuru scapegoat. Never again should we be told Uhuru did this, Uhuru did that, Uhuru did this. Never again should we be told about that. Number 2, transparency is key in these processes, just the same way we have been asking for transparency on how the bill was hatched some few days to the last general election. So just the same way this has been done, that transparency should also be carried forward to this, so that Kenyans get to know what exactly we are dealing with. And lastly, so how does this help revive the economy, even if now we are going to pay more? I'm telling you, we don't have a country here. Tunane Kirinyaga when we take that point. Kindly, those who had reached out, I had just a small deficit. I think if we get 20,000 by tonight, will be done. That will be fine, because we wanted to get him a phone, and the parents are also unwell. So, because Mandawa, of course, I had to part some cash to give for Mandawa to sort that. So I want to believe that we are going to achieve it. And I'll tell you, at the end of this fundraiser, I'll tell you a very short story about me, why I really relate with this. Thank you.